Daniel, a widower working 2 jobs to make ends meet, offered a ride to a stranded woman one rainy night. The next morning, the deafening sound of a helicopter shook him awake. It was hovering right over his house. What happened next left him stunned. Daniel was a man in his late 40s who lived in a small town. He and his late wife Sophie had been living in the bustling city of Las Vegas for years, but after his wife passed away, Daniel was forced to move back to his hometown where he could reconnect with his family and old friends. On returning to his hometown, Daniel got a job as a factory worker. Being a factory worker was not exactly his dream job, but because he had to make money to pay his bills, he had no choice but to work there. Since childhood, Daniel's dream had always been to open a clothing business. He often imagined owning one of the biggest clothing stores in his hometown, but because he never had the money to make that dream a reality, he gave up on that idea. Aside from being a factory worker, Daniel also had another job at KFC where he mostly worked the night shift. He worked there to make some extra money just to support himself. Daniel was returning from his night shift at KFC one rainy night when he spotted a blonde woman in her early 30s drenched in rain trying to hitchhike a ride. Since it was almost 10 p.m., Daniel was confused as to why the lady was standing on a desolate road that late at night. That road in particular barely had drivers passing in that direction at night because of its darkness along with steep embankments either side of the road, but because it was the quickest way to his house, Daniel followed that route every night. At first, Daniel thought of driving past the woman, but when he remembered that she may not see anyone to give her a ride out of there, he pulled over in front of her. "I'm sure you need a ride," Daniel said to the woman who was obviously shivering in the rain. As soon as the woman nodded, he stretched to the passenger's seat, opened the door for her, and she got into his truck. Without being asked, Daniel gave the woman a small bully towel which he usually kept in the glove compartment of his car. "Thank you for your kindness," the woman said as soon as Daniel handed her the towel. "I'm Laura," the woman introduced herself. "I'm Daniel," he responded with a smile. "If you don't mind me asking, what were you doing out there alone at this time of the night?" "Oh, my car broke down and I couldn't do anything about it," Laura answered. "Your car?" "I'm not sure I saw a car when I saw you," Daniel said in a very confused tone. "Well, I had to walk away from the car to get help." "I'll have it fixed tomorrow," she responded. "That's fine. So where are you headed?" Daniel asked. "I'm going to my friend's house. She lives at Purple Pine Street. I'll spend the night there so I can easily return to fix my car tomorrow," Laura answered. "Okay, I'll take you there. It's not too far from where I live." "I live at Portland Street," Daniel said. "Do you mind if I play some music?" "Since I can't offer you coffee, the least I can do is play you some nice music," Daniel said with a broad smile, and Laura nodded. Daniel turned on the car radio and tuned to a popular music station. Coincidentally, the music playing was one of his late wife's favorites, and listening to it brought back memories of her. "This used to be one of my wife's favorite songs. I played it to her on the day she passed away," Daniel said. "Right now it reminds me of how much I miss her," Daniel added. "Tell me about her," Laura said, and with that, Daniel told Laura about Sophie, how they met in college, their love life, how Sophie became a big part of him, and how he lost her suddenly to an illness. When Laura heard Daniel's story, she felt terrible for him, consoled him, and assured him that his late wife Sophie was in heaven and that she was watching over him. Hearing that from Laura made Daniel feel better, and for the first time that day, he felt a sense of peace in his heart. "Enough of me. Tell me about yourself," Daniel told Laura. He said that because he wanted to know more about the strange woman he was giving a ride. When Daniel said that, Laura smiled and said, "No, Daniel, I enjoy listening to you talk. You tell me more about yourself, and who knows, maybe next time I'll tell you about me." Without understanding what Laura meant, Daniel shrugged and continued telling Laura about himself. He told her about his life in Las Vegas, where he worked, and why he moved from Las Vegas to his hometown after Sophie's passing. Daniel just believed that Laura didn't want to talk about herself because she didn't want to share her personal information with a stranger, and he understood why. Even though Laura didn't disclose any information about herself, Daniel enjoyed every bit of the conversation. Aside from hanging out with his friends on his free days, Daniel barely had anyone to talk to, and talking to Laura that night made him happy. About 15 minutes after their conversation started, Daniel dropped Laura off at Purple Pine Street. For security reasons, she refused to tell Daniel the exact location of her friend's house and insisted that she would walk to her friend's house only after Daniel drove off. By that time, the rain had reduced to a drizzle, and the street lights on Purple Pine Street made it easier for Laura to walk alone at night. "Are you sure about that?" Daniel asked Laura one more time before she got out of his truck. As soon as Laura thanked Daniel and got out of his truck, he drove off as agreed. Daniel arrived home that night a few minutes before 10, and after having dinner and a shower, he went straight to bed because he was exhausted from work. The following day, Daniel was to work the afternoon shift at the factory, so he slept for longer hours. Around 10 a.m. that morning, he was still in bed when he woke up to the sudden loud noise of a helicopter hovering over his house. Afraid that something was wrong, Daniel got out of bed in his pajamas and went outside to see what was happening. Before Daniel could walk to the front door, he heard a knock. As soon as he opened the door, he saw a man in a black suit by the door and 4 other men standing outside his front yard. "Am I in trouble?" Daniel asked as soon as he saw the man. "No, of course not. I'm here on behalf of Laura Smith," the man said. "Laura Smith?" Daniel asked. "I don't think I know any Laura Smith," he added. As soon as he said that, the man pulled a small-sized picture of a blonde woman from his pocket and showed it to Daniel. "Ah, I know this Laura. I just didn't know her as Laura Smith," Daniel said. "Is everything okay?" Daniel added. "Yes, everything is fine. Miss Laura is in there waiting for you, and she would love to see you if you don't mind," the man said. "That's fine. I just need to change out of these pajamas," Daniel said before going back into his house to change into something casual. Once he was out of his house, the man led Daniel to the helicopter where Laura was waiting for him. As soon as Daniel got into the helicopter, he was given headphones with a microphone attached. There he met Laura sitting with her legs crossed and a smile plastered on her face. "Hello, Daniel. I knew we would meet again," Laura said as she smiled. "Hello, Laura. This is quite a surprise. I don't even know where to start." "I have a lot of questions to ask," Daniel said. "What do you say we go on a short ride?" "I promise to answer all of your questions," Laura said. "That would be great," Daniel answered, and as soon as Daniel said that, the helicopter lifted off the ground. "So my first question is, who are you, and how do you have access to all these things? Are you with the FBI?" Daniel asked all at once. "No, not at all. My name is Laura Smith, the only child and heir to Jonathan Smith," Laura answered. "The Jonathan Smith we all know?" Daniel asked to be sure. "Yes, that Jonathan Smith," Laura smiled. "I've grown tired of people being nice to me solely because of my name and status. I was searching for genuine connections, for people who valued me for who I am, not what I have. Yesterday, I wanted to test if there were still people out there who would treat me well without knowing my true identity, and you, Daniel, you proved that to me," Laura added. I don't even know what to say," Daniel stuttered. "This is quite a surprise," he added. "I know what to say, Daniel. It's thank you, and because you were so kind to me last night, I have something for you," Laura said. As soon as she said that, one of her men opened a briefcase, and Laura took out a big brown envelope and gave it to Daniel. When Daniel opened the envelope and saw its contents, he gasped in surprise. "No, I can't take this. It's too much. I was only helping a stranger," he said. "And that stranger is here to show gratitude for your kindness," Laura answered. "Thank you so much, Laura. You have no idea what this means to me." "Thank you," Daniel said. After Laura insisted, a couple of minutes later, the helicopter dropped Daniel in front of his house, and Laura promised to check on him occasionally. Then she waved him goodbye. Later that year, with the money Daniel got from Laura, he started his clothing business. Though it wasn't as big as he envisioned, it was a giant milestone compared to where he used to be. As promised, Laura checked on Daniel occasionally, and as time passed, the two created a powerful bond and friendship that lasted for many years until Daniel passed away. He never forgot his friend Laura, who helped him achieve his dream. In the end, Daniel's small act of kindness towards a stranger on a rainy night led to a life-changing friendship and the fulfillment of his lifelong dream. It's a reminder that genuine compassion can open doors we never imagine, proving that sometimes the greatest rewards come from the simplest acts of human connection.